give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Akakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone that taught us this truth. And this is GMS Dallas, got the brother Malak with me, beloved brother. And wanted to do a quick lesson, wanted to touch on charity real quick. And really charity, as the scriptures say, charity covereth a multitude of sins. All right. And covering, okay, mercy, grace, all that's getting ready needed. It's already needed. All right. But the value of it is gonna increase due to the things, that are about to happen on the planet Earth. All right. Great tribulation, famine, pestilence, all the things that Yahweh Bashem Yahushua getting ready to bring, we're gonna be here too. We're gonna have to experience those things too. And that's why the scriptures talk about in 1 Peter the 4th chapter, for judgment shall begin at the house of the Lord. And matter of fact, I'm gonna get that real quick and then whatever you got, bro. Okay. This is 1 Peter chapter 4, and I'll start at verse 17. It says, "For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High." Right? And we see that happening right now. All right, brothers is catching hell. Brothers is catching hell. You know what I mean? Brothers is going through things. However, the elect, the hopeful, the elect, the ones that are meant to endure until the end, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is going to have mercy upon them. And he's gonna spare them. And a large reason for that is because those are the brothers that have been exhibiting charity during this grace period. And charity's not always going to be, it's not going to be comfortable. It's not going to be cute. You're not always going to feel like doing it. But guess what? There are going to be more and more opportunities. There are going to be more and more situations where, brothers need a helping hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you had some.
And I was just going to make the point too, because you have the misconception in the Christian church or just among the commoner where they think that, this idea of charity is, you holding the door open for some old lady, while she, taking her time crossing the street and, you just waited a couple 15 seconds or you working at the turkey drive and, you throwing turkeys out the back of the, the semi truck. No, there's a prerequisite that comes with this charity, right? And that's knowing who we're doing this for, what kind of brother and what jurisdiction of power we're serving while doing it. You see? Okay. And I had this is a Sirach 12:1, and you can speak on it, my brother. It says, "When thou wilt do good, know to whom thou doest it."
Yep, know to whom thou doest it. And again, the brothers that we're dealing with in the camp, right? Whether it's a fellow soldier, officer, elder, a bishop, whoever. All right, these are not ordinary men. These are not mere mortals. All right, these are chief spirits in the heavens. And that's not, even outside of that, right? The law pushes, treating your neighbor the way you want to be treated. Yeah. But at the same time, could you read that again?
God, this is Sirach 12:1. It says, "When thou wilt do good, know to whom thou doest it."
Right, know to whom thou doest it. Right, and again, man, brothers in the camp, brothers we know, brothers, we may not even know in another camp, that we may come across. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is dealing with these men. And if that brother runs across you and he may have a thought in his head, like, man, that's a good brother. That's a charitable brother. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua remembers those things. He looks back on those things, and that's why the scriptures go into stacking up your treasures in heaven, roughly paraphrasing, that's all included.
Yeah. And we want the Most High to have mercy upon us when we need help. We want him to send his messengers, right, when we need help.
Yep.
You see? So why not much more play that role out as well? You see, we've been called in this thing to be judges and examples also, and that's part of the thing too, also giving before we receive things, being able to give things up, whether it be your time, whether it be your money, whether it be your advice. You see? Just getting brothers out of certain situations. Charity comes in a multitude of ways. It's not always just this single, monetary gain. Sometimes it just be your time. Sometimes it just be shutting the hell up and listening to a brother and letting him vent,
Yep. Can I get this for you? I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah.
But it's the spirit, because you're touching on that right here in this Colossians 3. And then I know you got that Tobit. This is Colossians chapter 3, in verse 12, it says, "Put on, therefore, as the elect of Yahweh Shem Shai, holy and beloved, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering." And this is verse 13. And that's touching on what the brother is bringing out. Those are all different forms of charity, really.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which is that's a part of that reasonable service too. When it talks about that in Ecclesiastes, all right, for the whole duty of a man is to fear the Lord and keep the commandments. Right? Charity is a commandment, man. The Lord didn't exclude charity when he had that in mind.
Yeah. Right. Well, just like the idea in the of Yahweh washing the disciples' feet. That was a form of charity, showing that reverence, showing that servitude, willingness to serve. You see? Man. And that's that's the kind of leader that we follow.
Right.
So what do we look like having that pride, esteem about us where we can't help another brother out?
Yep.
Regardless of rank, regardless of how the brother preaches or if he teaches or if he just believes. You see, just helping out even the little ones. We don't want to offend this late in the game. Little one, we don't ever.
Yep.
We don't want to offend ever the little ones, but this late in the game is that much more crucial to take advantage of these opportunities that we do have, like you mentioned.
Yep, bro. Because the later you get in the game, this, or anybody who's played any type of competitive, sport or anything, the higher you get, or the further you get into the game, the more mistakes are magnified.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the championship game and the finals, every little mistake can become dire.
Yeah.
We're not in the times anymore where we can be afforded to just offend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you touching on, man.
Yeah. Well, that comes through with the you have two methods of games. You have an infinite game and you have a finite game. Right? An infinite game is something that continually plays on and is perpetuated over time. It doesn't have an end. But you have a finite game, which it has a due time and a day where it's going to stop. And we know that we are at the end, right? Jacob is the beginning of the world. Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. We're reaching the end of the world. Well, that means as well we're going to reach the end of opportunities where we can then cleanse our conscience, if you will. You see, we can then flip our talents. There's going to be a deadline before we can flip those talents before they need to be turned in, if you will.
Yep. It's like it's really like a sacrifice, really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The Lord requires sacrifice, and we don't got it, bro. Even being in the truth, we slip, we fall, we make mistakes, we sin, bro. Like, we're still sacrifices required. The scriptures say, we offer our body as a living sacrifice. Guess what? Charity is a part of that.
Yeah.
Charity is a major component of that. But it made me think about, like, when you're in school and you fail a test, but the teacher lets you retake the test.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like that, if you will. But there's one more verse on this. It says, Colossians 3:14, it says, "And above all things," well, matter of fact, let me read verse 13. It says, "Forbearing one another and forgiving one another, if any man have a quarrel against any, even as Hamashiach forgave you, so also do ye." And forgiveness. Forgiveness, man. Letting all this little shit go. Little, disagreements or, even major disagreements. Man, we're coming into times where ain't none of that shit gonna matter, bro.
Yeah.
Ain't none of that shit gonna matter when the stores is closed, the lights get cut off, a major disaster happens. You're not gonna be worried about, all right, well, this brother, when I tried to switch out reading with this brother, he took 5 minutes too long. Man, bro, our perspective is about to shift. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Little shit, all that shit is about to go out the window here soon.
Yeah. Scriptures say, what's that? 2 Ezra 14:14. Let go from thee thy mortal thoughts, and the things that are most heavy unto thee. Because something little like that could kind of be leaning on you, like, damn, is that really symbolic of this? And like, what I mean? Like, you be like, man,
too deep.
Man, come on now. The brother just,
right.
It's not that deep.
My brother forgot, just like, something just slipped his mind. You over here tripping.
Yeah. And it be like that. And then sometimes it's like, bro,
It is what it is,
yeah.
man. That's the, man, the times we're coming into, man. It's all about just serving the Lord, enduring till the end, man.
Yeah.
This is verse verse 14. This is the point. It says, and above all these things, put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness. All right, the bond of perfectness. You know, and if I could get the blue letter, I'm tempted to go into that word bond or perfectness. You know, because again, man, like Paul talked about in 1 Corinthians the 13th chapter, you can have everything else, right? You can be spitting fire out on the highways and byways, breaking down the prophecies, right? Eloquently, beautifully, right? You could be, making 10 videos a day, right? But if you don't have charity, if you a hoe ass nigga, if you a bad brother, the Lord ain't dealing with you.
Yeah.
That is not like the Lord. The brother brought out that beautiful point, that example of the Lord washing our feet. If that's not the spirit, if that's not the spirit that's on you, then you're not one of Yahweh Shai's, man.
Yeah.
You know?
You simply aren't a servant. You know? You simply aren't a servant of the Lord. And that word literally is the servant is like a waiter. You know, you go out to eat, they're always on standby, making sure that you have water, that you're sustained, that the food is good, is hot, is up to par.
Mm-hmm.
You know, making sure that ultimately you get that tip.
Yep.
Because that's how you're sustained. That's how you're able to keep on, if you will, to you know, have a life outside of work. You know, it's by your servitude. I had that word bond for you if you want it.
Okay, come on.
It's sundemos, okay, G4886. It says that which binds together a bond
yep.
of ligaments which the members of the human body are united together.
Boom. So again, the scriptures talk about what? About the disciples, the congregation being a body, right? Being a united, entity.
Yep.
Okay, and charity, what it's telling you is charity is that one ingredient, right? That brings it all together. You know, now we know we got faith, all right, we got, the prophecies, you know what I mean? Things of that nature. But guess what? Charity builds trust. You know, it builds chemistry, you know, because, in sports, team chemistry is a big thing. A lot of that is built up through helping brothers.
Yeah, they call that, we seen it the other day. Brothers went and watched the game. We was talking about ball movement, you know, having that ball movement. Well, that's a defense to great defense, you see?
Yep.
Because you're not holding on to something that, is so precious.
Yep.
You know? That makes it hard for somebody to get it, because you're able to give it up easily.
Yep. Jake got that James Harden spirit, got that Luka Doncic spirit. Jake just want to ISO, right, and pull up for the step back.
Yeah.
But you got to be willing to give it up, like the brother's saying. Pass the rock, bro.
Yeah.
You know, help a brother, set a screen. You know, and this is, we're using allegory, and but
this is an arena in itself.
Yep. And whatever you got.
This is Tobit chapter 12, verse 7. It says, "It is good to keep close the secret of a king, but it is honorable to reveal the works of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Do that which is good, and no evil shall touch you. Prayer is good with fasting, and alms and righteousness. A little with righteousness is better than much with unrighteousness. It is better to give alms than to lay up gold. For alms doeth deliver from death, and shall purge away all sin." Right? I'm going to read that again. "For alms doeth deliver from death, and shall purge away all sin." You see, and that's what we hope to be found, as being cleansed, being found washed, being found as those virgins that were prepared for the bridegroom, spotless, without that stain on them in the midst of the Lord, if you will. You see, we don't want to be found with a blemish, man. We want to have that white stone.
Yep. That's it.
I'm gonna finish this out. It says, verse Tobit 12:9. "For alms doeth deliver from death, and shall purge away all sin. Those that exercise alms and righteousness shall be filled with life. But they that sin are enemies to their own life." So turning down one of the Lord's little ones for help, well, that's very well like to you being a hireling. That's likened unto you neglecting the flock.
Yep.
You see?
Because hirelings are only in it for what they can get out of it.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
That's it, Con. That's it, bro.
So that's all I have.
Con. Well, Lord's willing, we just want to touch on that real quick through the Spirit. Want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles again. Shalom to the next lesson.